We have survived 2025.
Yes, we still alive after 2025.
Yes, a victory. This is a victory.
Yay, confetti. You know, what's your thoughts on this? Some people say, which I do agree in part, and I spoke about this morning, how New Year is really in the spring, but is there, for those type of people, is there still any benefits and gains they can have?
This is such an interesting question. It's not an easy, quick answer,
Yeah.
but if you'd like, I'll go into it. So, of course, the calendar should be 13 months and not 12.
Oh, you're going deep. I didn't know, I'm with it. I didn't know you were about to take it there.
Well, I don't have to.
Yes, please. Yes.
And because of the winter solstice, which is communicating to us the greater cosmic flow, there's just so many things happening that are so wonderful. The being who is the mother of the earth, that being is planned on an ascension process that she has rightfully earned. And this is a heralding of the cosmic elevation that can move forward, that will bring not only the earth, but those who walk upon her back. And at the same time, those who would like to continue doing whatever they're doing may also have their experience.
Yes.
This has never happened before. This is the sixth earth, but usually we're just destroyed and start over again with stone implements. However, point of fact, we've always been intelligent. There's always been tech. There's always, much of it has been hidden in what's going on. But this idea of moving forward is a great exaltation for Mother Earth and humanity. And by virtue of the connection of the divine masculine and the divine feminine, also for the divine masculine, so it's Father Moon, you know, Father, it's actually Mother Moon, Father Sun, Mother Earth. And all of that is moving in a direction where when people have felt there's been a press against them, as we move forward into further into this, what we recognize as this year, it will improve. So it's true, what you're saying is it may not actually be it, but what's afoot is moving in our direction.
Yes.
And it's cosmic. And you might even have woken up in the last week or two and felt like something wasn't holding you down to the bed. Yes. And your dreams may have been different. The relationships with your family, friends, lovers, finances are all subject to change. And the bigger notable thing is those who are dissident with you may fall away if you allow it to happen. They may just no longer be there. Not that you have to do anything, but they're no longer magnetized. So you may notice that people who you haven't talked to in a long time, you remember how much you love them and you talk to them. And then people who have been an irritant, you may notice they're not around as much. So this is the progression, and as we go through the year, it will get higher, better, more exciting, more opportunities, more of the energy of satisfaction and fulfillment as a cosmic movement, which we are part of the divine and sacred in that movement. So I'm not sure if I answered you.
Oh, you took us there early, before announcements. I love it. You all like that? Coming out strong. All right, so everything that you said, it really takes us into our topic today and the necessity to elevate the ascension of the Mother Earth that she is entitled to. She's old. This is like she's in that process.
Yeah.
And we are her,
Yeah.
you know, and
we are actually Earth.
Yes.
We are like literally Earth. And she's going, we can go.
Yeah.
If we resonate at the right frequency, we get to ride with her.
Yeah. So we're doing, we did our card pull today. Our topic is on elevation, and this is for the Crown Chakra. And the maxim is when you call for the highest possible vibration, you are really calling for an algorithm that disrupts fear, it is an algorithm in the universe that pulls fear apart. So we're going to explore that today, and how that relates to what you were just saying. It was so beautifully spoken of what's needed to ride that wave of the ascension process.
Right.
So before we dive into this, I want to give a shout out to those who are joining us. So we see you in the chat, in Lakesh and Veritas, everyone. Welcome to the live stream, and also a couple of announcements for you all. We have this Friday, Diane in Lakesh Studio 1 and Laota will be together for the Evolutionary Book Club. So 7 p.m. Eastern, right? 7 p.m. Eastern this Friday. They will be diving into the Call for the Truth book written by Laota. And you wrote this back in 2020? 2020 hindsight? That book still hits. Still hitting. And it's funny, there was a couple of people who were like, nah, I don't know. And then like, if they were to read it today, like, oh my gosh, look up around, we are deeply in it.
Yeah.
You know, but it's a very powerful book of the power of truth and inviting it into our reality, because a lot of what we have supported is the lie. It does not support the biology, the way in which we were designed. It literally goes against the mother, everything. And so it is kind of like a clarion call to the necessity to reset ourselves and align with truth. You have any thoughts on this about the upcoming Evolutionary Book Club?
I'm very excited and thankful to Diane for inviting me to talk about the idea of our offerings to others to enslave ourselves. Like, you've got a lot of money, we would like to be slaves to you, we would like to do what you say, you have guns, we'd like to do that, when in fact what we have is so much more powerful. What is being asked of us has nothing really to do with our personality. It has more to do with the frequency at which we operate that anti-life would like to control. And we oblige them by, we're so free, we enslave ourselves. We're like, I'll brand myself. Let me brand myself. See there. Like you don't need to brand me like a cow. I'll brand myself like a cow. No, I'm branded. So all of these kinds of behaviors that are very common in our experience have to do with the idea of wanting those who are the controllers or the anti-life that controls this planet to see us as contemporaries or see us as similar to them, when that's a ridiculous assumption.
Yeah.
So you like the masters of the planet, the royal families that have existed for thousands of years, to see your selfie and be impressed. If you don't fall off the cliff while you're trying to take your selfie.
Yeah. It's bringing to mind how there are so many people who died from selfies.
It's true.
It's ridiculous.
But it's really more of a symptom of our drive and insatiable appetite to be seen by those who we don't know and who don't care about us.
Yeah.
So there's that. So the book is really this idea of making sure that we understand the value we have as sacred beings, that if we can be the truth in our own experience, we can change the experience of the lie that we live in. So it's no coincidence that people have been wearing masks. There's no coincidence that nobody's telling the truth.
People still wearing masks. Saw a dude the other day, I'm like, damn, brother. And you in your car by yourself.
Yes, right. But it's really this idea of, are you able to see and broadcast truth, or do you need to hide and muffle it so nobody can see you're trying to tell whatever you're trying to tell?
Invisibility.
So the book is really about seeing yourself as sacred, understanding that you being the truth makes you stronger, greater, better, wiser, and that bowing at the altar of others who have not shown any interest in furthering your life or your experience is not a good strategy.
Indeed. And as you mentioned, earlier in the opening, we are at a threshold. Some people are feeling the press to change. Some people, you know, sometimes you have to hit the wall really hard or feel more of the, you know, like when they rolling up the toothpaste tube, serious rolling up and squeeze to get that shift. But everything that you're saying, there's this, I feel this wave and this pulse for the necessity to pull back that power to align with the truth in all the ways that you shared.
It's very interesting because it is our own pain and suffering that has us with a death grip on not getting the things we need, because the pain and suffering is broadcasting. So we have a death grip on the things that give us pain and suffering. We hold on to the family, the lover, the money, the this, the that, the other thing, when if we released it, not only would we be free of it, but we would release the pain and suffering that had accumulated in us. It's kind of a psyop.
Yeah, it sure is. You know,
Yeah.
we think we're gaining something, but we're really losing.
Yes.
And,
And it's like, and so you ball up your fist to take yourself down a road that you won't survive. You know, however, the good news is on this happy day, Happy New Year, the good news is the universe and source, all that is so beneficent. There is no death, there is no afterlife, there's only life. Only life exists. Whatever choice a soul makes puts them in the next experience that they're looking to have.
I'm having some thoughts that maybe a future topic we can touch on is the idea of death. We have, or the fear of it. We've done this years ago, but I think it requires touching on again, because the more and more I look at what's happening in our world, I was watching this monologue from this older gentleman. He's international. I don't remember what country he was in, but he was sharing, Americans, you're seeing all these atrocities and all you can say is, we stand with you. And you're not rising up against your government, you're not doing anything, but I do see that it's a fear of death, fear of dying for standing up for what is true, what is right. And it might require some, and I think that the idea of death is expressed in many different ways, where like social death.
Yes.
Like if you think about like the pandemic, the fear of like, if I don't do what society is telling me, then the cutoff feels like a type of death. You know, so there's many levels of death associated with truth, but you know, I think death is welcomed. It's not necessarily a negative. I think it's our understanding of it and what it is.
There is no death, and I think that in the book I say that the coward dies 1,000 times. The brave man dies only once. I'm opting for brave. You know, I don't want to be insulted and pieced apart into fragmentation of my divine self. Let me just stand up for what I say, and you do what you have to do, I'll do what I have to do. There is no death. And this attitude is very freeing, because every situation you are the master of. You decide in every situation, this is what I'll do or this is not what I'll do. This is what I'm willing to do or this is not what I'm willing to do. And that in and of itself is power. Decision is power. You know, being so terrified that you're just shaking, there's no decision. You're being swept away by the ocean of the events, and you could have changed them, but you'll never know because you never exercised your will to do it. So as you say, like those who in 2020, when we were all being pressed, and you know, people were coming on the news saying your children won't be able to go to school, we're not going to let you buy groceries. Yeah, I was watching all of that too, and I'm like, so we shall see. We shall see how dedicated you are to that, you know, and I'll show you how dedicated I am to not doing that. I'm willing to take the children out of school. I'm willing to grow some food. I'm willing to do all the things that you think I can't live without. I'm willing to be happy anyway. I'm willing to keep being healthy. I'm willing to do the thing that you're trying to scare me with. Once you have that, then you don't die the death of a coward, where everything someone tells you is an insult to your divine sacredness. Like, I will take from you food. Like, oh, really? You're going to do that? So you think you're going to win with that? So we shall see. You know, It's just like your children sitting at the table. I'm not going to eat it. I'm like, okay. We shall see how dedicated you are to that.
Yeah.
So I think the energy of being a mother has not been wasted in these tactics to terrorize us. And I don't necessarily think they're over, but I think that we should have gained. How grateful should we be that we have gone through all that they threw at us, and here we are, still standing. And the ones who died didn't really die. They just were ready to leave, and they left, and they went on to their next experience. Who won? Who is the winner in that? The one who did what they wanted to do? Is that the winner? Or is it the one who wanted to bend us to their will? There is no force in source. Whenever anyone's trying to bend you to their will, whether it's a family member or a government, this is not source. This is something other than that. That is masquerading as the powerful thing.
Yeah, which
It's
is
like,
a false sense of power because it's something from within and not where you have to press others outside to your will.
there's so many examples in history of people who would not allow themselves to be suppressed. There's so many that are kept quiet, but they are there. There are examples of people disappearing into the earth, people walking into the ocean, people like, you will not make a slave of me. And I am in harmony and alliance with those kinds of ideas. I want to convey to you to the energy of courage at the beginning of this new year. Move forward in this age to be courageous and not a slave to your own weaknesses. Because it's really you seeing you.
It's a really good point. I was speaking with your grandson last night about one of the greatest ways we can offset this battle with darkness is to actively choose the opposite. We were using things like the 7 deadly sins, you know. Go after that sloth, that lust, that wrath, that pride, you know, these different things that the anti-life needs you to choose to agree to and to take action on, and will yourself to choose differently.
And
That's
so
how
wonderful.
we can fight back within
it's a
what's
wonderful
in
way.
arm's reach.
Don't be slack. Stop lying.
Yeah,
Don't be addicted. Refuse.
yeah,
Don't eat the sugar.
that's right. It's the devil. Somebody told me sugar's the devil.
Well,
It stayed with me. I'm just saying. White sugar. Brown too, because it's fake. All right, never mind. I'm sorry. I think I got Tourette's when somebody say white sugar. Yeah, no. Okay.
the idea that I love what you said. If what's being presented to us is something, we know that a bottle of soda has 17 teaspoons of sugar, and that it will rot the teeth right out of our mouth, and it will give us high blood pressure, and that we will have sugar diabetes, then you choose to eat it. It's really a choice of suicide or not suicide. It's not, and we shouldn't pretend it's otherwise. We shouldn't pretend, we all know this, and then we've known this for a long time, and it's all right. If this is how you need to learn, I would say it's more uncomfortable than I would want to be, but okay. Nobody is in charge of making you have ease and grace in this. This is your decision. You decide whether the experience you're having is supportive and nourishing, and you're willing to do the extra steps that make you feel greater and better and stronger, or not. It's not, I'm not in judgment. I recommend no one try to make other people do anything that they don't want to do. If they're not in your care as children or as seniors, then they are free in this universe, because this is a free choice universe. And we have been choosing to do the thing that we've been directed to. It's not working for us.
No. And I shared with you a few days ago of the sense of the things that individuals do and realizing it's not doing the same. It's not giving life. I'll speak more so from my own experience, seeing how the more I pull in light, the more dissidence there is. Where whether it's social media and with food, I'm pretty good on that. But even still, there's refinements happening, and wanting to fast more, do more cleanses to be free and to obtain light. And there, I think I was sharing specifically with you. I attempted to play a little bit of game, and I was like, nope, I can't. It made me nauseous. I can't even, and it wasn't even it was like inlining skating game. I couldn't even engage with this aspect of artificiality and anti-life because it's not giving anymore. But what I saw with that, especially because we're in the sacral, like, where's my energy going to? Is this really giving me what I think it's giving me? And this is a callback to what you were saying. Like, we are holding onto these identities, the nostalgia of what we grew up with, what our environment and society has reinforced is normal and it's okay, but it really isn't. It's never given us anything. It's only sustained the status quo of stagnation and kept us separate from our divinity. And I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm selling this thing. I'm about to get rid of this, out of my house. And it's just, I feel like it's that time on the planet, but that's what's been going on in my life.
It's so funny because we're on New Year's Day where people make things like resolutions, and we think about, what does that mean? I need to resolve or bring into completion. It means you have to make a decision. That you're being encouraged at the beginning of the new year. Make a decision so that the universe can support you, so that that all of nature and all of the multidimensional aspects and all of your ancestry can support you in your resolution. And so this is that opportunity. And what I have noticed over many years in many circumstances is that once I decide, I demagnetize.
It's the power.
Yeah, once I decide.
Shut off. Magnetism drops.
Once I make a decision, and I stay at the party too long, like others do too.
Yeah, it's like
sometimes I stay at the party too long, but don't let me decide. Because then all the lights go down, there's no magnetic field, I can't even see you, I'm not interested, you have no pull, the food, the alcohol, the activities, all that's connected to it, all the things you think. Like I often hear clients say, well, this person, they can't help themselves. I'm like, I will be teaching them resolution so that they are not a victim of whatever it is you're selling. Because whatever you're selling, if they would like to stop doing it, it's an internal experience.
Yes.
So the resolution can be that you resolve, you revisit your resolve, that you join back to yourself in the sense of being one and strong. And if you're not willing to do it, don't do it. If you need to stay at the party longer, stay at the party and watch what goes on.
I think that's really good though. In some cases, staying at the party serves us.
Yes.
You got to see how, like, damn, I should have left. Man, my guidance told me. Yeah. And now I'm here.
Yeah, don't go to the after party with Diddy. Leave.
Don't do it. Don't do it because Diddy did it. You better watch it.
Yes, it's like sometimes you have to read the signs.
Yeah.
And have to get out, and make decisions and choices that support your best and highest well-being and that of everyone that you're responsible for. But that's just such a perfect example of everything, of people getting high, people drinking too much, people having too much sex, too much porn, too much this, too much that, and staying too long.
Yeah, all the things that will keep you stuck in the lower self, you never, in that, by engaging and entertaining it, there's never self-actualization, there's never self-realization of who you are through engagement of what is not real.
And the opiate of the masses is now many things. Many of the things that will steal your willpower, because every addiction removes your will from you and takes it and doles it out to you when it feels like you want some of this. There's enough will to go get it.
So, speaking of which, there is, I can definitely sense that there's just so much in this world that's not real and that just not give to us. And it's like this luring in. And it makes me think about when people begin to find out about the food and what's happening in the air, and they're like, damn, we can't eat nothing, or I can't even breathe the air. And it's like, it's like that. And I want to give some balance to it and not be so neurotic, but I have seen in my life that life has required me to keep things simple and straight and narrow. And I remember hearing the phrase like life is a straight and narrow path, and like there's so many things on the side of the road. It's almost like walking through the mall and the people in the kiosk is like, "Hey, you want to buy?" Trying to sell you cologne and perfume and a necklace, and it's like,
Spraying you with things.
yeah, yeah, like, and you got to walk through clouds of perfumes. It's like that in life, and it's like, no, don't go off, because what's for you? This is your path. But I do find that it is challenging for humans, because for some reason we think, oh, this is good. And again, in that conversation last night, one of the ideas we spoke of is that everything that's good for you isn't right for you.
Right.
Like, it might look good, but it's not like for you, and it will take you off the path. Yeah, it might be all right to get yourself a little necklace, but like, they didn't pulled you off your path. A little Asian lady at the kiosk.
Well, I have a different view, which I would
Yeah,
recommend.
please do share.
So the view I have is that let us learn that we are sacred and that the world is filled with sacredness. That every insect that we can't stand is really an aspect of sacredness. And that we have to like run in the house, or it can't be in the house with us. How dare it be in the house? Like as if it wasn't created on this earth and this is its planet too. And that the sun and the wind and the grass and the goats and we have visiting us peacocks and cows and goats visiting us from time to time, all of which are psychically connected to the frequency that we are at and come to give greetings. You know, the trees that we talk to, we do not have a deficit of that which is sacred. It has been adulterated and it has been maliciously maligned and abused, but it's still there. It's still there at some level. The trees are not the magnificence of what they once were, but they are still there and they still hear us and they will still talk to us. The earth itself, the dirt, the earth itself, the intelligence of that exists under all of our feet. The realities of the stars in the night sky. You know, this is a story of glory, not a story of sadness. I see that they have made a lot of tinker toys. They threw a bunch of stuff up that looked like fireworks, and they got our attention. Then they fell to the ground because they're not self-sustaining, because only source makes things that don't need to be re-upped.
Yeah,
you know,
keep popping batteries in there. Plug it up.
yeah. So, and so that's why they want to block out the sun and all these things. However, the more reverence we have for what is creation, the more that trumps whatever thing we follow. Whatever thing we follow that says, I got to turn around 3 times and bow this way and do this and jump up and down, all of that is fine if that's what you want to do, but the reverence of recognizing each living thing, go to the market and speak to the life forms that are, as you are earth, they are earth too. Like, oh, you my cousins, you red pepper, you, you know, you blue potato, I missed you. You know, this is all part of the experience that we are always to have, and that we have denied ourselves because we're starry-eyed with the fireworks.
Yeah.
You know, but all we have to do is start teaching our children mindfulness. You know, don't kill an insect for the fun of it. Don't burn something. Don't hurt something. Don't drown something. Recognize you could be that insect in another version of the universe where something is as big as you are to the insect.
Yeah.
You might not want to make that karmic trip, you know? And then how fascinating is it, how interesting it is that life is so intelligent and special, and the root systems of the trees and the redwoods and all of these things exist that we give no attention to. And then we wonder, like, why am I living? What's life for? I have no purpose. Because we have not been taught to see that we are and everything else is one in sacredness.
Yes.
So that is really the message for today, is that elevation is understanding that you are one with everything, and it does not, you lose nothing by not killing something or acknowledging something or speaking to something. You lose nothing. And you have the possibility of gaining the multi-dimensional range of humanity. We are multi-dimensional. We are not just on the earth plane. We are not we're not even in the third dimension anymore. You know, we're in the fourth and the fifth dimension. That the more things will happen to give us this, the more that we reach for more depth, the more that we will see. It's like learning a science, some kind of science. The more you read, the more you get, the more interested you are, the more you're amazed at creation. But if you never think of yourself as anything but injured, or you don't like yourself because you don't look like everybody else, or whatever it is, you are now choosing the experience of not having, of not expanding. Your fists are tightly closed around the nothingness that you have chosen, when there's a whole world to touch.
It's powerful. I have one additional thought. This kind of piggybacks off of what you were saying, but also moves it into the idea of the new year and re-identifying. So there are those within our reality who may feel like they've plateaued within their experience. Like, I feel like I'm stagnant, I'm not going up and up, and it's been like this for a while. And I think that part of it is because in some shape or form, we have refused to re-identify. We continue to hold on to the old thing.
Yeah.
And you know, thinking about the winter solstice, the cycle, reflection on who we were, the new roots we're going to place into the ground, and what we will sprout up to be in the spring. That's the re-identification process, right? And then, but on top of that, like, how's that tied into the idea of the fear associated with allowing ourselves to re-identify and to be something different, instead of allowing the fear to stop us and continue with what's familiar?
I love that you brought this forward. Who our identity is determined by us every morning.
Yeah.
We decide whether we want to bring back the scar we got when we were 12. We decide whether we want to retain the memory of what our mother said that hurt our feelings. We decide that. We could leave it back where it was, or we could bring it into the day so that we can feel the pain and the suffering that we felt when we were 12 or 10 or 9. We don't have to bring the pain and suffering forward. So when that happens, then we get to a point in life where we're like, I've plateaued and life's not really about anything, because you're regurgitating all of the experiences of pain and suffering that have happened through the maturing process of growth. This plane of experience is to teach you how not to do the things that hurt, not to teach you to hold on to the things that hurt and let them kill you. You know,
humans so crazy. We bury ourselves.
You do not have to remember every insult. You don't have to feel any kind of way about it. Actually, what should happen is we should be grateful that someone came forward, so that now I can look at this in my maturity and I can think, oh, that was nothing. I'm going to be somebody new tomorrow.
Yes.
You know, like, I don't need, you know, like people say they moved on, move on. Like, really, move on. Be like a child. You know, a child falls or bangs their head in the wall, and 2 minutes later they're playing again. Like, you know, they don't have the identity that experience, even if it was painful and even if it hurt, they're not holding on to that identity because it's against the law.
It's that leaving the party early.
It's against the laws and principles of the universe to let every time your toe was stubbed, or every time someone said something that made your stomach hurt because your solar plexus has not been well developed. And so you spend the rest of your life forcing people to pay for what a 6-year-old girl said to you. And I remember it happened to me. I remember thinking I was a princess. And I remember going to school and telling people, yeah, I'm They're like, girl, you ain't no princess.
Popped out.
And I'm like, oh, my stomach hurts. Mom, my solar plexus hurts. They don't think I'm a princess. And eventually you go through these processes and you learn that you are still free to think however you think and that the other person does not have authority over you to remove your princessness. You're like, she ain't not the arbiter of princesses. You can be a princess when you're 50. You can, if that happened to you, come into today. It's a New Year's resolution. Make your resolution. I'm gonna be the princess all year. You are free to do that. So I wanted to make sure I say that this is still all us limiting ourselves from our experiences seen through the lens usually of the families we came into.
Yeah.
And we should not hate our families or our mothers in particular. We should be grateful that they woke us up to see what not to be.
Yeah, I think that's such a powerful perspective.
And once we do that, then we change the morphic field of the pain and suffering that they went through. The stories are...
Yep.
We contribute to the elevation of our lineage by, I'm glad I learned this because I'm greater for it. I survived it. Now, if you didn't survive it, then you may have to come back. But if you survived it, you won. Now you can look back on it. So I think this is an important message for today, and hopefully there'll be those in the comments who gain from it.
Yeah, we definitely have a number of comments. We can go to a quick commercial break, and
Yes.
you're still feeling it, and we'll come back to answer some of these questions or comments that are in the chat. So stick with us, you all. It's a pretty solid show, and we see that there's a number of you all who are joining us. We see you in the chat, and so welcome everybody. We're going to go to a quick commercial break, about 40 seconds or less, from our sponsor, Aluka.
The goal was never money. The goal is freedom. Money by itself means nothing. You don't want pieces of paper or numbers on a screen. You want what money buys. Time with your family. Choices without fear. The ability to say no when something doesn't align. That's real wealth. Chasing money without freedom is like collecting keys without doors. You have shiny metal in your hand, but nothing it can unlock. Build assets, build income streams, build leverage, not just for money, but for freedom. As Nelson Mandela said, money won't create success. The freedom to make it will.
Yay, I love that message.
Yeah, you were there giving ad-libs in the background.
Yes, I love that. Freedom.
That's right.
That is a worthy pursuit. If you think life has no meaning, why don't you try some freedom? Try some freedom before you check out.
That's right. All right, so again, you can visit alukainc.com for any wealth management, asset protections, wealth investment, and just going to the chat. It looks like there's not much going on other than people greeting and Lakeshan and Veritasin and
Happy New Year.
Yeah, all of that. So I'm just going to go through our chat and give some acknowledgement to everyone. We have Inlakesh Studio, Diane in the house, Stephanie Singletary's here, Serenia, Lisbeth, Cecilia, Julianne's here in the house. We also have I am Elijah Woods. Peace, infinite wisdom, love, light, abundance, and prosperity. You all, may you see the truths in all that is.
Yes.
Shout out to Elijah. Le Leon Eri in Lakesh and Veritas. Lauren of the Sun is here. Deborah's here in Lakesh and Veritas. We got Shaka Warrior. Shaka has a comment here. A cosmic new year. You two serene and serendipitous. Hold on, the comments is making the chat move. A cosmic new year. You two serene and serendipitous sun souls. Much appreciation, gratitude, respect, and love for you all to heal and support the collective.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Shaka. Deanne says, the one is, she's a little halo emoji. So Julianne, she has some comments here. I'm not a survivor of cancer. I am a transmitter of ancestral codes of separation. selling my authority to outside sources as a way to be seen or heard. I claim this today. Thank you both. And then Yusuf Muhammad is in the house. Syndication Veritas, Lo to Tavares, and the Other Son family. Happy New Year. So yeah, shout out to everyone again who's not, also those who are not in the chat. We see you are here popping in and out. And just kind of want to conclude and speak just briefly about highest possible vibration practice, and then we can bounce out of here. So we have a practice calling forth the highest possible vibration, and literally, just as this card says, it is an algorithm that disrupts fear. There's literally a separation that occurs, the demagnetization. Oh, we leaving the fear party. Oh, everything drops and collapse, and you can pop yourself up. Would you speak about this practice from the perspective of the new identity, or using this as a tool to kind of reaffirm and pull from any fear that makes us go back to the old self?
Everything is frequency, everything is vibration. Many of the things that we are teaching at Of the Sun are codes. They are sacred codes that will break the magnetism of the anti-life that imprisons you. Calling for highest possible vibration is one of them. So when you call for highest possible vibration, this is an acknowledgement that you know there's source creator, and source creator made a higher possible vibration, and that you're asking 3 times, can I have some of that?
Yes.
And source has no reason to deny you.
We get some seconds and thirds.
So what happens is you get at least, no matter where you are in your development, you'll get at least 30 minutes. If you're in light body and you've been doing other things, you may get much longer. But that means if you're on the way to the bank, or you're going to court, or you're on a phone call, call for the highest possible vibration. Make this part of your New Year experience. You lose nothing. You may be able to tap into the nodal coding that has been made for humanity through the sacred language. The idea of grammar. You know, you are using the words which connect not only to your DNA, but they connect to the DNA within your field, whoever you're talking to, on the phone or at a distance. This is a very relevant idea. I also deeply encourage everyone to call for correction, especially at night. Like, it is this understanding that Creator made correction, that it exists as a body of knowledge and intelligence that's available to you. But no one ever taught you, like you hear, go to the house of correction. You know, you hear, you need to correct yourself. But you never hear, call for correction and you'll be straight. So there are many galactic stories about peoples who were on the brink of devastation on their worlds, their home worlds, who all collectively decided to call for correction and were able to dismantle the fear algorithm, which is a parasite. So if we think of how excited we get and how scared we get and how, you know, we work ourselves up, it's a parasite that's just feeding on us. That if you recognize it's a parasite and you start calling for highest possible vibration, you'll start seeing you have more control over yourself. And then if you call for correction, you're like, oh, I think I'm in control of this. And then if you see, like, all right, parasite of fear, I see the word ear in you, that it's what I heard that made me think, that got into my head, into my brain, and now it's, you know, galloping across the back 40.
Yeah, bring yo, come here. Lasso. Excuse me, because I can see it so vividly.
Yes.
Gotta go after it.
Yeah, so you have to recognize, what is it? It is anxiety, is fear, which is a parasite, which has taken up space in your brain because you haven't recognized or haven't been taught what it is. It's just a parasite. We have many parasites, but we don't necessarily give them free rein.
So this is sounding like an energetic parasite cleanse. You gotta take your daily dose of highest possible vibration, or
Yes,
put yourself in
and
high
correction.
frequency and correction.
Just if people, if those who heard this would just do that, life would change
Yeah.
dramatically.
That's such a powerful tool and a perspective. I'm thinking from how feeding the parasite, the fear, it proliferates, same correspondence
And
as
then it scares your
regular
mama,
parasites.
then it scares your wife, and scares the children.
Yeah.
Daddy's
Branches
crying,
out.
something's happening. Now you're scared the whole,
Yeah.
like when you can rein that back in and call for highest possible vibration and then have a handle on that.
Yeah.
And, continue to call for correction until such time as you are corrected.
This
So
is so
people
deep.
say, like, how long should I do it? And like, until you correct it.
That's right. Just sit there. I remember you saying something the other day about how they would go to the temples and just pray and do their meditation, and they would stay until it was taken care of. You said there were no iPhones, no timers.
Right.
We're here until it's done.
Yeah, and they had nothing interfering with them either.
Yeah.
Because they had turned over all the things that were not in harmony with what they were doing had been left behind. So it doesn't take so long.
Yeah.
And we won't leave behind the pain, the suffering, the slights, the things people have said to us, our jealousies, our resentments. If we won't leave those behind, then it'll take a little longer. But you are the master of you, and if you got the time, we got the power.
Yeah.
It's a matter of, will you unclench your fists? Are you still going to be mad at what your uncle did? Are you still going to be mad at what someone said to you, what your first husband said, or what your son said? You can explore that and see where it takes you. Or you could call for the highest possible vibration and have a new experience until you demagnetize from the energy that holds you in. Where people say to me all the time, I don't feel bad about that anymore. I'm like, you demagnetize. You felt bad about that for 35 years, and now you don't. That's demagnetization. That's not the opiate of the masses. You can't drink that away.
Yeah.
You can't smoke that away. You can't debauchery that away.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
That's not how that works. So I think that's what I'd like to share with everyone today. And I want to encourage everyone to be in resolve of whatever it is you want to be in resolve of. Choose something the right size for your bite.
Yeah, true that.
Maybe conquering the world and world hunger may not be I know it's a Miss America favorite, but you might want to try something in your own experience. And we encourage you to join us in Light Body Movement. We're very excited. We're moving into the sacral chakra. It is so exciting to be part of this, and the opportunity for us to resuscitate the understanding of humanity's originality, authenticity as light, which most people can't even believe such a thing is possible. Like, what do you mean light? I'm like, I encourage you to keep breathing. You keep watching. It's okay if you don't believe. I will not, there's no force in me, but I encourage you to keep looking and see if you don't see some light. And if you don't do it and you don't get some light. All of those who are feeling they got light in their life, I'd put that light in the chat, because that's what's happening. We are all gaining light. We're changing the dynamic on the earth plane. And what else? What else have you got to do? You got something better than that? Okay, let us know.
That's a solid way to end. So just a general reminder in the description, link for Light Body Movement. We're kicking off again Sacral this upcoming Sunday. And also a general reminder, this Friday, 7 p.m., Diane in Lakesh Studio 1, Lao Tzu of the Sun. They'll be together for the Evolutionary Book Club, covering Lao Tzu's Call for the Truth book. If you're interested in the audiobook, it's available for free on audible.com. Just type Call for the Truth, Lao Tzu, or of the Sun, and you'll find it. and you'll be able to tune into it. And the book is also available for purchase on Audible, and Amazon as well, and our website. So that pretty much wraps up.
Yes, thank you so much. We thank you all for joining us on this very important day of the new time that we're moving into. This is the beginning of the ascension out of the darkness that we have been in for 25,000 years. It's going to be a wonderful ride.
That's
What
right.
a wonderful time to be born. Thank you, in Lakesh and Veritas, with honor, respect, and gratitude.